everyone, thanks so much for joining me. In this pose focus video, we're going to do Chaturanga, which is a really challenging position. It looks like a tricep push-up, translates to four-limbed staff pose. I'm going to show it upright, the shape of it, upright on the back, and then finally in the pose. And what I'm really looking for is to keep the consistency in the shape of it, okay, as well as consistency and awareness of the work of it. It's really easy to overburden some parts of our body and underuse other parts. And because it's a pose that in many practices you do over and over and over again as part of the flow, it's a really good one to kind of break down and work on and see if it can be a total body pose where we feel all the work. We feel the work in the legs and the back muscles and the abs and the arms. Okay, so not just isolated in the arms or shoulders. So I'm going to start out with upright, okay, with standing probably up at a wall. For this exploration, couldn't think of the word, you might want a couple of blocks. And like I said, I'm going to be using the wall in a few different positions of this. I think we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to, got my blocks handy. I'm going to stand with my back to the wall here and just kind of getting a sense of the shape of it. So in Chaturanga, it's a lot like, right, so it starts out in this plank shape, okay, but our arms just happen to be bent, okay, maybe to this degree, okay, so somewhere in here, what it isn't is this, but it tends to become this, okay, often. Okay, you might recognize this shape, where we really need the shape to be here. So a neutral spine, maybe the wall is in my way a bit, but maybe your bend, okay, is going to be this deep. But this is where you really want to watch out. You don't want it to be this. This is, at a minimum, really hard and tense, for the shoulders and neck. It underutilizes all kinds of really big, strong muscles, okay? And then in transitions, you could really harm, okay? The rotator is just so easy to happen. So hopefully this will protect you from it, this kind of awareness and building in the strength, okay? So again, the legs would be really powered up, okay? Really the shape of it is more when you roll on your toes, okay, or onto the balls of the feet in Chaturanga, okay? It's more like you're on your tippy toes there, okay? Pulling back, lengthened, okay? Somewhere like this. We're looking for this. So if we're laying down, we're going to be looking for the same shape, same work, and I'll meet you down there. So the main thing to notice here is that I'm going to place my the balls of my feet up at the wall and try to remember to use that reference, okay, to find engagement. This also, laying down on the back, is going to inform what the shoulders are going to want to do. Okay, so I'm just going to position my feet, more the balls of the feet than the heels, okay, with the legs straight, okay, and getting the shape of the pose. So plank pose, right, would be in this shape, something like it, okay, Chaturanga, something here, okay, and trying to keep the legs powered up, okay, recognizing, maybe feeling, it would be lovely if you felt the strength in the back, the power already in the shoulders, okay, and just kind of recognizing the transition from plank, okay, to this push-up, and can you kind of feel what the shoulders will want to do, and see, right, how that just really won't serve us well if we do this over and over and over again. What do we want to reaffirm with our practice? What are we trying to create and maintain? Okay, so length and space. Now we're going to flip this over. Okay, so what I want to do with this, okay, is remember that I have a ton of power in my legs. Okay, because a lot of the time what happens is people lose awareness and access to the power and the strength of their legs, and then the upper body is overburdened, and then we start to go into places of familiar tension. Okay, so we don't want to have any sort of undue tension or pressure around the neck, shoulders. We also don't want to have any sort of pinch in the low back. So we have to watch for both of those things. And I think a block between the thighs, feet at a wall, okay, will start to help us learn, okay, how to do the things we need to do with the legs and seat muscles without it compromising the low back, okay? So I'm just setting this up. I'm gonna get my feet at an angle here. So maybe the heels will start at the wall, okay? Just placing, you can find your right width for the block. I'm gonna start in plank, okay? Just to find the right positioning, okay? Find the power. Ultimately, when I go into Chaturanga, my heels are gonna leave the wall, okay? But here, it's just a great technique to kind of remember how to power up, okay? Just adjusting the feet so the legs, the center lines of the legs are parallel, finding length. I'm gonna shift my heels forward, okay? Trying to find consistency and then bending without letting my shoulders dip down. Okay, still trying to find the power, okay, and then you rest, because it's a really challenging pose, and then practice it again. So I'm going to do it again from top down, basically, and then we're going to work on bottom up. Okay, so just trying to find all that consistent power, okay, openness. So not one muscle could be identified as isolatedly doing the work in the pose. It's all working together. So powering up, looking for the seamless channels, that experience of seamless channels. Try not to get dippy in my low back. I totally tend to do that. Okay, so length and power. Okay, heels leave the wall, and yet trying to bring energy up in toward the midline. Still breathing, still powerful. Pressing back up and releasing. Of course, you don't have to press back up. Okay, so now I'm going to work this from the ground up. Okay, so laying all the way onto the belly, internally rotating the legs just to set them up so that they're going to end up neutral. Okay, positioning the arms. Okay, so again, I don't want this. I don't want my shoulders to be below the height of my elbows. Okay, I'm trying to get them at the same height. Okay, toes tuck under. Powering up from the feet, the legs, as though the heels are still up at a wall, as though I have a block between my thighs, but I won't. You totally could, okay? So all those things are just tools, and at this point now I just imagine that I have them, okay? So powering up from the feet, the legs, the length in the spine. So at this point, the only part of me that's still on the ground, besides toes and hands, is my belly and part of the chest, okay? So I'm going to really breathe, inflate the back, and then I'm going to try to hover just an inch without losing my line. Okay, lowering back down. Again, so center lines of the feet, parallel, legs parallel. Being active at the feet, active in the legs, length in the spine, hugging energy up, in toward the midline. Again, I'm looking for that consistency and experience in breath. I'm going to breathe and really puff up the back. And then come up. And release. Okay, hopefully I gave a good example. Okay, so again, same shape. Okay, looking for consistent effort and seamless channels, seamless lines, okay? All things that support excellent posture, right? That's what we want, right? The sense of ease and comfort and just the best way of being in our body as we possibly can for the sake of our body, for the sake of our breath, for the sake of our heart and mind. So I hope that this is helpful, that you stay safe and enjoy your chaturangas. I would love to hear from you. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.